UFP, the United Federation of Podcasts.
Welcome to Fanchise Fatigue. I'm your host, Brandon-Shea, and joining me as always is Zach Moore, my co-host to discuss Terminator Salvation.
This is John Connor, and if you're listening to this, you are the Resistance.
Oh man, I was totally doing my Batman voice.
Very, very good, Brandon. Yes, we're talking about Terminator Salvation this week.
Here on Fanchise Fatigue, the little podcast on the United Federation of Podcast Network that discusses movies, sequels, and remakes. Zach, thanks for joining me. We've got a special guest, don't we?
We do. We have Mr. Lance Laster. What's up, Lance?
What's up, y'all?
Lance is my best friend, my college roommate, and we have watched many a movie together
Yep.
in our time, including Terminator Salvation.
Including this one. Absolutely.
But before we jump into it, what's your take on the Terminator franchise? Like, where do you stand on it, and how do you see the different eras of the movies, you know? You know what I mean?
I like this franchise a lot. Fun fact, Terminator is my mom's favorite movie. So I've seen that one and obviously 2 the most, you know, because I was just watching those back to back. And it's interesting. This franchise, like, it has 2 excellent movies, like A+ movies, right? And then it has, you know, the third one in the trilogy is like, eh. And then Salvation came out and it's like, well, that was better than Terminator 3. Maybe we can do something with this. And then we got Genesis, which was like total crap. So it's just like, you know, it's just that's basically the state of the franchise right there. Like, you got 2 standouts, a pretty good one, a meh, and really bad.
And yeah, I don't know. I kind of agree with some of what you said. I don't know. I don't hate Genesis, and I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's good. I don't know. They're good movies. This is gonna be fun. I think this is gonna be fun. Now, Zach, you told us that you love this movie.
I do. Sometimes I call it the guilty pleasure, but other times I just call it a pleasure because I think this is a great movie. And I saw this movie 3 times in the theater.
Are you kidding?
No, I saw it 3 times in the theater. I did because I was writing reviews for my college newspaper, wrapping up my college semester. And I got to go see this movie with a press pass for free. Okay. I got a T-shirt, a Join the Resistance Terminator Salvation T-shirt that I still have.
I got a you got me a shot glass from there.
Okay, you still have that? All right, great. And because when you go, they give you like a press packet and stuff, you know. So I saw it for free once, and then I think you and I saw it together.
Yeah, that's when I saw it.
And then my dad hadn't seen it yet that summer, and he's like, "Oh, let's go see it." And then I saw it 3 times in a row. So I really enjoyed it, and it held up on repeat viewings. And when it came out on home video, I got it. I got the Terminator anthology Blu-ray set. I thought that, and we'll get into this obviously when we talk about it, but it broke the mold. It was a fresh new direction, and I enjoyed doing something different with the Terminator universe on film. You know, there have been, you know, video games and comics and all sorts of TV shows. Sarah Connor Chronicles was actually around, the contemporary of this movie too, and that's cool too. But to see a Terminator movie, to see it, I know, right? It was a good show. But to see a Terminator movie where finally it wasn't
a chase movie?
Yeah, just the time travel. There's a Terminator and a Protector, and they both go back in time. This broke the mold, and it was something different, and I appreciated that.
Excellent, right on. Well, before we get too in-depth to our discussion on the film, let us jump into some trivia. Zach, I'm guessing you're going to have a little bit of trivia for us to talk about this.
I do. So, directed by McG.
My man.
What is up with that?
From Charlie's Angels fame. McG, you know, he actually went to visit James Cameron while he was working on Avatar, because Avatar came out the same year as this, by the way, to gain insight about the mythology of the first 2 movies. And Cameron actually recommended Sam Worthington to play the Marcus character. So that's the kind of your James Cameron influence on this film.
He was just hooking his boy up.
Yeah, because what has he done? What has Sam Worthington done outside of Avatar and Terminator? You know?
The Clash and Wrath of the Titans.
Oh my gosh, Brandon, we got to do Clash of the Titans at some point on this show.
Well, there's 3 because there's the original and then the remake and then the remake sequel.
Exactly. That's why we have to do it. I think it qualifies for the show, wouldn't you say?
Let's do it.
All right. But then
I got a question though. Which did better at the box office, Avatar or Terminator Salvation?
I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'll have to look that up, Brandon.
It's definitely going to be Avatar. If you even hesitated.
I know. There was a lot of different ideas, as there always are with these Terminator movies. Like nobody has a plan before they make these, apparently, because there were so many different ideas. The original idea was Marcus was going to be a hybrid, like between human and machine, which he was in the film, but it was going to be more a specific like subsection of society. Hybrids that were created by human researchers to improve the human race, kind of like the Borg, I guess. We're going to enhance ourselves through cybernetics. That was the idea. So he wakes up with amnesia in the future, and then the Dr. Kogan character, who was Helena Bonham Carter's character, she was going to be a bigger role. She was also going to be one of these hybrids. When Skynet wiped out humanity, they were going to let the hybrids live because they thought, oh, well, they're, on the right course because they're part, cybernetic. And then the hybrids were seen as the salvation of the human race, hence the title of the movie, which is, the title of the movie is kind of lost in there somewhere. I mean, there are themes of that kind in the movie, but that is where the word salvation eventually came from in the conception of the movie there.
Well, see, I always interpreted it that because it's like John Connor's era where he's the military commander, like he's the savior, right? So him being alive is the salvation for humanity. That's how I've always interpreted the title, is it's a reference to John Connor.
No, I think it still works. Like
especially given the ending. Like he says that we're not done yet. There's still stuff to do, but like the tone of the movie at the end doesn't seem like that. It seems like everything's good. Like they did it. So
yeah, we'll talk about that too, right? Because that's the point I want to make as it ends. But so anyway, that's where Salvation came from. There were a lot of talk about this back and forth. There are some famous alternate endings that were filmed and scripted and leaked out, and everybody freaked out about. Some of which being that the main crux of all the alternate endings would be that Marcus Wright would become John Connor in the eyes of the Resistance and the world, because John Connor would suffer a fatal injury. And they would put John Connor's face, graft his face onto Marcus Wright, because it was the idea of John Connor, and the symbol was more important than who the person was. And I thought that was actually a real interesting concept.
If I could be a symbol,
yeah,
I could be incorruptible.
It's like Batman. A person can be corrupted, destroyed, but a symbol can be everlasting, to quote Christian Bale's Batman from Batman Begins,
which came out
4 or 5 years before this. So I think that would have been actually cool. We can talk about that later. Another kind of side alternate ending to this would be that once John Connor became the Terminator, he would turn evil and kill everyone.
Yeah.
Which would make no sense, because if you notice in the movie here, Catherine Brewster, she's pregnant, all right? And that is tying in the continuity for T3 that Arnold tells them in the future, their children become important.
Yes.
So yeah, if they were going to kill John Connor, they had to be like, oh, well, how do they have kids? Oh, well, she's already pregnant. So that's actually very smart of them to tie in that continuity. They obviously would not have made her pregnant if that wasn't the idea, to kill John and make Marcus John. But, it still works. But then if he's going to kill everyone, then how does that even tie into the future? So had they, I don't know. Like, I think that's a really cool idea. And really plays with your idea of the mythology of the Terminator, but at the same time, it all tracks. And in the movie, Marcus and Kyle Reese are the one that kind of formed the bond, not John Connor and Kyle Reese. Assumably in sequels, they would have formed that bond. But anyway, that's one of this alternate ending and alternate story ideas is one of the things that kind of hangs over this movie, I think, when a lot of people talk about it. Because it was actually kind of like a big thing back in the day when this got leaked and people were real upset online. But I don't know. Like, obviously, I think we can all agree that him killing everyone off would be bad ending.
Correct.
But what do y'all think about him, like Marcus becoming the John Connor figurehead?
Well, I'll say, so I watched this tonight again with the maximum movie mode on the Blu-ray.
Maximum movie mode.
Maximum movie mode. And I actually tweeted out Warner Brothers. I'm like, this is actually a really well done maximum movie mode. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. And so, like, what they would do at certain points while the movie was playing. So the theatrical cut is 1 hour and 54. But this maximum movie mode is 2 hours and 1 minute.
Okay,
and
so does it pause?
They pull out the movie, and then it shows the director, Mick G, and then it shows the screen on one side and some other stuff. And he'll pause it he'll say, okay, stop it here, and then he'll be like talking things back and forth and stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. It's the first time I've actually seen that. But at the end, he does talk about this alternate cut and how that's what the ending he wanted to do, and he thought it was kind of like a braver choice, and it'd be weird to have this like massive dark ending. Mm-hmm. So having Marcus, it's almost like it's not that John Connor becomes the Terminator; it's that the Terminators win.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Well, that's the case. Where's the salvation?
Yeah. Makes no sense.
Well, I didn't say it makes sense or anything like that. I don't want that ending. That's
terrible. My problem with it. The description does not fit. So, I think that would have been a real misstep. So I'm glad that was not the thing.
Well, it's not salvation. It's salvation. So, like, they put it on the wounds. They put salve on their wounds. So.
Yeah, by the way, speaking of the title, though, there's no colon or dash in this. It's just Terminator Salvation.
Yeah.
I guess I had always put like a colon there because it's like Star Trek Into Darkness. Nope, just one constant thought. There's no punctuation in between there. But yeah, I think had they stopped halfway and just made him the figurehead, that would have been interesting because then you think about, does the man matter? Is it about the figurehead? The idea of John Connor is more important than the man himself. That's interesting.
Yes.
But then to have him kill everyone undercuts all that. So I think they were halfway there. That would have been a bold choice and got people talking, I think, and as opposed to what we got.
We're kind of going into the discussion of the film, but yeah, like because they even had that Christ symbology of Marcus,
yes,
right, when he was hanging there, right? So he's the savior at the end.
Well, when he was executed, on the table, and then also hanging there. So totally. So anyway, lots of story opportunities here, but it didn't ruin the movie by not doing that. I think. Which other Terminator movies were perhaps ruined by making those choices. Speaking of spoilers or whatnot, we talked about this with Terminator 2. The tradition of Terminator movies spoiling themselves in the trailers is back, because clearly when you watch this movie, it's supposed to be a surprise that Marcus is a Terminator. Like, something's up with him, but you don't know, like, blatantly, because it's a reveal for him and the other characters. And then, like, I think, like, the first trailer, or the second, not the teaser, but the trailer was, like, the scene where it's revealed he's a Terminator.
Yep.
The movie would have played better. Like, that would have been a really cool reveal. Like, you would have known something was off about him. But again, shame on you, whoever edits these Terminator trailers, for spoiling that. Like, what do you guys think about that?
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. It's just like, I mean, there's so few things that could be like a surprise at the movie theater nowadays. And it's like, that would have been really cool. Now, granted, that's kind of an obvious thing to kind of figure out, right? Especially since they were already doing this whole movie is a bold new direction with everything, right? So that's something that you can kind of logically see them going for. But it would have been nice to like see that in the theaters and not the trailer for like some other thing. It would have been nice to see it like, oh, as you're sitting watching the movie, it's like, oh, cool, well done. Or that's what I thought this whole time. Like, we didn't get that moment. It was like, oh yeah, we knew this already.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing about trailers. It's like, what do you show? And I think this movie would be a hard movie to make a trailer for. So yeah, I don't know that I really blame them for that, but it would have been nice to have that real. Because even watching now, it's like, I haven't seen it in a long time, and I'm like, well, he's a Terminator, and I don't know, I haven't seen a Terminator forever, right? So he's a machine. Like, I mean, like, I could figure that out because he signs his body over to Cyberdyne, and it's like, okay, well, I don't know. So to me, it's not like it's a well-kept secret. Like even if they didn't say it, Terminator fans would have probably figured it out pretty damn quick.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right? Because he was being killed, and then he's alive 10 years later. Or 15 years later, I guess it is, right?
Yes, in the far future of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the far future of 2018. I can't wait to get there.
Oh boy. So Stan Winston, who's a special effects master who was behind all of the Terminator designs, so the whole franchise, he actually passed away during the production of this film. So this was the last film he ever worked on. The film was actually dedicated to him at the end, and he also makes a brief cameo as a prisoner on board the Harvester after they all get taken at the gas station. So R.I.P. Stan Winston, just an incredible special effects guy behind the Terminator, Jurassic Park. Just his legacy of special effects is well known and well documented in Hollywood. As far as returning cast members from previous Terminator movies, Schwarzenegger was a governor of California at this time. Governator, yes. He declined the cameo in the film because he thought that a brief appearance would be cheating the audience, as well as the fact that he had other responsibilities. He technically could have filmed it on a weekend or something, but I love the CGI honorable moment in here. We'll put a pin in that and talk about it when we start talking about the movie. So I like that although Arnold wasn't in it, they found a way to incorporate him in a clever way. Sarah Connor. We hear her audio tape she recorded for John. He's listening to them throughout the movie. Some of that is the same dialogue